edition of the Sports Debaters with Reason in July. We just got three quick topics that we want to talk about, three popular topics that we've been seeing what been going on in a group. So we're gonna go ahead and debate it. Reason in July. So we just gonna hop right up into it. Y'all know me. I'm July Masterson.
Absolutely. Yeah, and you know me, man, young Reezy. Had to represent the Eagles hat. I couldn't let Blake be the only one. We got the flask. When you got the
I'm,
flask and the hat matching, that's that drip.
man,
Y'all don't know about that.
I'm holding down Chicago Bulls today, man. I'm holding down the Bulls today. Shout
Okay.
out, shout out to Zach. Shout out to Zach LaVine, man.
Hey, one of the best dunkers in the league. So
Number 2 after Vince Carter, but we're gonna get to that on another topic. But another day, another topic. But anyway, the first topic we wanted to discuss was Cam Newton, him going to the Patriots. Yes. I honestly think the Patriots gonna get to the AFC Championship game. I think they're gonna win the division, get the number 2 seed. They're gonna beat somebody coming out the wild card round. Now they're just gonna get to the championship game. They're not gonna win it. They're not gonna go to the Super Bowl because there's no way. I think they're gonna beat Baltimore and Kansas City. They're gonna beat one of them. They're not gonna beat both of them. But yeah, what you think, Reezy? What you got going on with that?
I mean, that's an interesting take. And it sounds like you talking as if you have Cam Newton automatically starting. So that's kind of where I would want to start off with, because I agree that if Cam Newton is healthy, he's starting. Stop that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even want to hear about Stidham. I don't want to hear about any other possibilities, because here's my whole hypothesis. I'm gonna break down my hypothesis. My hypothesis is 3 words. Cam was the plan. You know what I'm saying? 4 words. Cam was the plan. So when I say that, the reason why I say that is because Cam Newton didn't sign with nobody. He talked about there was teams that had interest. It made it seem as if teams didn't have interest in him. But really, I think what Bill Belichick did was he's too smart. So he knew that they were going to get in trouble over that cheating scandal. Because of the cheating scandal, he already had the relationship, everything done with Cam. That's why Cam was working out so hard. He was so hyped. He already knew he was a Patriot. But they waited till the day of the story of the cheating scandal to announce Cam Newton being part of New England. So that was a very prescient, a lot of foresight to be able to come up with that and to know that, hey, we already know we're going to get Cam Newton. He's the plan. He's the best by far quarterback out of the free agents, out of anybody that was signed. All the free agents that we saw got picked up. Cam was the best option. But why don't we hold this little poker card, keep our poker face, wait till the media wants to come out and say, oh, my goodness, they were doing Spygate again with the Cincinnati Bengals. Oh, my goodness, they going to get, you know what I'm saying? And on that same day, say, hey, we got Cam Newton. That's a genius move, because now you hijacked all the negative energy. You turned your publicity into positivity. So I agree with you as far as I do think New England can go a lot further than what people think, because a motivated Cam Newton is a different Cam Newton. We haven't seen that in 3 to 4 years. Okay, so let's be real about what he's capable of doing. And I think they could actually win a lot. And I do think he's going to start if he's healthy.
Yeah, and on our last episode, Gerald Ryan had told us, even before he thought Cam Newton was going to the Patriots, he said the Patriots was going to win the division. I was kind of leaning towards that way as well, because I don't think Josh Allen ready yet as far as the Buffalo Bills go. Miami, they're going to be testing the waters with Fitzpatrick and Tua. They're going to be trying to work Tua in there sooner or later. And the Jets just a terrible organization. We're just going to leave it at that. But now that the Patriots have Cam will be the starter. Stidham, he don't have a chance. Cam gonna be the man. I think Cam gonna come in there. They're gonna win. They're gonna go 11-5, 10-4. That's gonna be good enough to get a second seed. So whether it's Kansas City or Baltimore that's gonna have the first seed, they're gonna end up winning the division round. They're gonna either have to go to Kansas City or Baltimore. They're gonna lose that game, but getting to the AFC Championship game the year right after Tom Brady leave, I think that's a successful story for Cam, and he will get paid next year.
Okay, now what do you think about the Buffalo Bills though? So you have Josh Allen. Um, you have a really good defense. A lot of people really, really are speaking highly in football circles about the kid that they call the motor, who's the young running back, Devin Singletary. So you have a good setup. They actually have a really nice tight end as well. And then you added Diggs. So you added another deep threat to it. You already had a deep threat and John Brown, or what's his name again, John Brown. But now you added Diggs to that. Do you believe in Josh Allen? Do you think that they can make noise and ruin Cam's coronation as the replacement of Tom Brady in New England? Do you think that he could ruin that and the Bills actually be the upset winners?
Well, don't get me wrong. Nobody's more excited about Stephon Diggs going to the Buffalo Bills than me.
Really?
I
Why
mean,
is that?
him getting out of the NFC North. We ain't got to
Mm-hmm.
see that man twice a year.
Okay, right.
I'm real happy about that. Shout out to Green Bay Packers. But as far as Buffalo, I don't think. Don't get me wrong. Josh Allen good, but he not the thrower that Kirk Cousins is. Even though Kirk Cousins,
Really?
yeah, even though Kirk Cousins is mediocre himself, he does make them big throws though. So I think Diggs gonna take his numbers gonna take a step back. So Buffalo, they probably make the playoffs again, finish a wild card, but that's the most. That's the most that's gonna happen with Buffalo.
I feel like there's a misconception. I think this is what happens to Josh Allen. Josh Allen, people see this guy, and first of all, we can talk about anything. So we talk about race, but that's a white guy that can run the ball. Let's be real, as a
Mm-hmm.
quarterback. So he
Mm-hmm.
starts running the ball. We get a misconception like he's not throwing deep balls. He tripled his completion percentage on deep ball passes. So don't you think that would go up even higher when you add Diggs to that? For me,
I mean,
I
but
think we have a misconception just because he run the ball, we think he don't got a big arm. He actually got a really big arm.
okay, let me reword that. He might be a good deep ball threat, but how many times does he actually throw the deep ball? You got to understand, Cousins threw the deep ball a lot.
True, true,
Like he gave his receivers plenty of opportunities to
right.
to for the deep ball. Josh
But
Allen,
he had Thielen on one side, so that's almost kind of the same deal with John Brown and Josh Diggs. Like maybe he needed a second deep threat to be able to act like how Cousins does, where Cousins has either the play action or Dalvin Cook is coming on play action, or now he can throw the deep ball to either Diggs or Thielen. So he had Rudolph in the middle. So he was able to avoid double teams. Maybe that's all Josh Allen need was to have two good receivers that could go deep. Where now I feel like, okay, I feel confident in throwing the ball deep. We might see a different guy. We might not see someone
okay,
who's always running out the pocket.
okay. So this what I have. I got the Patriots and Cam Newton 12-4. I got the Buffalo
Okay. Uh,
Bills getting one of the wild card spots at 10-6.
hmm.
Miami, I got them at 6-10. The Jets, I got them at 5 and
Hmm.
11. That's what I have as far as the AFC East goes.
Okay, and I'm actually good with that because I don't like what they did with Sam Darnold. They took away uh, his guy Ryan Anderson. They took him away, so
Yeah,
he's
that
gone.
was
Yeah,
big.
he's gone.
That was big.
So they replaced him, but it's still not quite the same. So I'll agree with you actually. I think that we might see 12 to 13 wins out of Cam, and that's huge for Cam. That's huge for his legacy. So, but let's go ahead and move on to the second subject, which I know the group is going to get lit on. I know one of our past guests, Germ Rich, is going to be real hype because he's probably one of the only Blazer fans in the group. So shout out Germ Rich. But
Shout out to John Rich, man.
let's talk about Russell Westbrook versus Dame Dollar. Everyone thinks that because after the big shot where Dame Dollar ended the Oklahoma City series, sent them home, he literally waved them home on the court, waved them home. Did that prove that Dame now has he has sunned Russell Westbrook?
I'm gonna put it like this. No, it's no doubt about it. Russell Westbrook has had a better career than
Uh,
Damian Leonard. It's not even close. If you rank in the top, let's see, 35 players of all time, Russell Westbrook definitely part of that list. Dame Leonard is not.
okay.
But
So my
saying that,
case, keep going, keep going.
but saying that, when it comes to Russell Westbrook and Dame Leonard, I start paying attention to this series between these two when Carmelo Anthony went to the OKC Thunder.
Mm,
That's when I really caught that, started paying attention, because as a I start watching this Dame Westbrook series
mhm,
whenever Melo went to OKC, because I follow Melo. I
mm,
wanted to see exactly, when I heard about this rivalry, I wanted to see exactly what it was about.
okay.
So OKC and Portland in the same division. They played each other 4 times. Damian Leonard, he only played in 3 of those games. He only played in 3 of those games. But in all 4 games, well, or I should say all 3 games, Portland won those games.
Okay.
Like, if you want to say referees did this, referees did that, Damian Leonard led Portland to beat Russell Westbrook, Paul George, and Melo.
I was about to say the rest. I was about to say
Yeah.
because there was a
Yeah, I
couple. There was
mean,
2 games. 2 of those 4 were very highly questionable at the end. But
hey, I know that was questionable. Hey, it shouldn't have came to that.
facts, facts, especially
but
with
but
Dame's team being so injured and stuff like that. So
and then last year in the playoffs, even though, and I looked this up, even though Portland was a 3 seed and OKC was a 6 seed,
mm-hmm.
OKC was still favored to win that
Mm,
game. I mean, win that series. And Dame and Westbrook, they was going at it, going at it. Russ
right.
was calling Dame sometimes. Dame was calling Westbrook. In the fourth quarter,
Okay.
when OKC was trying to get stops, it wasn't Westbrook on Dame. It wasn't. It was Paul George on Dame. And I
Hmm.
think if I think honestly, if you just put him out there on the court and let him play 1-on-1, I think Westbrook will win 9 out of 10 times. If you just put him out there 1-on-1. But when you're
Okay.
playing 5-on-5 basketball, this what makes Dame better than Westbrook. When Paul, a lot of the times when Paul George had it going,
Hmm.
Westbrook would still jack up shots. A lot of times.
Right.
A lot of
Right.
times. When CJ McCullough got it going, Dame is leading the team. Hey, let's get the ball to CJ. Even when
Yeah.
Melo had it going sometimes. Hey, let's get the ball to Melo.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Dame knew when it was time to take over, when it's not the time to take over. So in a team basketball 5-on-5, I'm taking Dame Leonard. One on
Okay.
one, I'm gonna go with 1-on-1. I'm gonna go with Westbrook.
Oh, okay.
But bro, but if I had to start a team, bro, I'm picking Dame Dollar, bro. It's just that easy to me. Dame Dollar, man. I think he the overall, when it comes to 5-on-5 basketball, he
Hmm.
the better player.
I mean, I can definitely. I see where you're coming from. I'm not gonna hit you with the. I'm not gonna hit you with the Stephen A. Smith. Here's you're wrong and here's why. You're wrong and here's why. That's how Stephen A. Smith be like you're wrong and here's why. I do believe that Westbrook is the way to go. Westbrook is the way to go. Here's the reason why. There's nothing that Westbrook cannot do. As far as he can win you the game, but he could also lose you the game, and he proved that he could destroy a whole series, he could destroy a whole season if he wanted to. If he's feeling some type of way in a particular game, he gets emotional. Yeah, he could be the main catalyst and the reason why you fall off. But at the same time, let's talk about his actual
Hey,
willpower and his actual ability to take over a game. Dame can take over a game, but not the way Westbrook can on both sides of the ball. What I'm talking about defensively and offensively. So Westbrook can either win you the game or he can lose you the game. But his actual takeover ability is two-sided because he can actually do it on the offensive end and the defensive end at a higher level than Dame Dollar. And the reason why I say that is because of Westbrook's background as well. In UCLA, he was strictly a defensive player. He had to come up and learn how to play defense. In Oklahoma, one before they were superstars, with Kevin Durant really taking the lead as the main superstar, Westbrook was really a defensive guy. People actually forget that Harden was actually a defensive guy on that team. So you see how things can change once you get that spotlight or once you have the onus of facilitating an entire offense by yourself. Harden had to facilitate an entire offense. His defense fell completely off a cliff. Westbrook got to facilitate the entire offense. Of course, he's not going to look like a defensive juggernaut in the NBA like he did in college playing for, the John Wooden classic UCLA team. So what I'm trying to say is that Westbrook has shown a takeover ability that is transcendent. To give you an example, in the finals when LeBron and the Miami Heat destroyed the Oklahoma City Thunder, that series was 4-1. But there was games and moments where you could see that KD was never going to be defeated. KD was going to average 30 points, but it seemed that that's all he was going to do is average 30 points. Harden showed the mental weakness. That was his first playoff weakness, is where he showed, okay, sometimes, coming off the bench, he couldn't get his rhythm. The defense was going crazy. It seemed like every time they got to the rim, Chris Bosh came out of nowhere with a crazy block, out of nowhere from the help side defense. So it seemed like they had them figured out to where they looked a little defeated. But the one person who doesn't care about being defeated, the one person who don't care what things look like, is Russell Westbrook. So he went ham. Russell Westbrook went ham, and you could see that he has a takeover ability that I feel like Dame can't do quite to the same level because he doesn't have the defensive prowess that Westbrook does. But go ahead. What do you think?
Okay, so you are, hey, I ain't gonna lie, you are absolutely right about Westbrook. He could win you the game. He could also lose you the game.
Right.
Let's go back to that Utah Jazz series.
Oh no, Rubio! Oh my God!
And then don't get me wrong, Dame just got shut down by Drew Holiday in the New Orleans Pelicans series.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna use both those series. So Drew Holiday absolutely outplayed Dame. Like there's no question about it. Portland got swept. It was embarrassing for him. Dame, CJ, everybody said it was embarrassing. Across the way, OKC, man, you playing against a team that you're favored against. You got Donovan Mitchell.
Mm-hmm.
You got Ricky Rubio. You got Rudy Gobert. And what's her boy name? Cole ass white boy. Ingles.
Joel
That
Ingles.
nigga Cole.
Yeah.
Joel Ingles. Yeah. Game 1, playoff P, excellent game. Exceptional.
Like 47 points, something like that.
Yeah, man. That was a hell of a game by Paul George, man. I was really excited for him because he haven't had no playoff success in a couple of years.
Right, because of injury and everything.
Game 2, I'm gonna say Utah stole that game. Utah stole that game.
Okay.
OKC supposed to win that game. Utah stole. Game 3, Ricky Rubio go off. He go off.
Now this is when the press conference when Westbrook got all mad in the press conference.
That was after game 3. Westbrook got all mad. He said game 4 it's gonna be different. He said all kind of stuff talking trash to Ricky Rubio.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop it. All this stuff.
Yeah. Game 4 came. You could tell Westbrook was out there playing one-on-one basketball.
Man,
I mean, it happens. You just got embarrassed by Ricky Rubio. It happens. All right, slide. I'm gonna even let that slide. I'm gonna even let game 4 slide. Game 5, Westbrook and Paul George had an all-time amazing comeback for the ages.
25, 23 point comeback, right, in the 4th.
I was ready to go to sleep, ready to wake up to all kind of tags in the morning.
Man.
They came back. Game 6, I'm gonna say Utah stole that game too because OKC had
They had
them.
momentum. I
They
mean,
had
after
them.
that comeback, right?
Okay, so my point that I'm bringing up is you would think Russell Westbrook and Dame Leonard would have learned from that past playoff experience. But
Okay.
I'm only half right on that. Damian Leonard learned. He learned.
Right.
He went
Right.
out. He helped his team get to the Western Conference Finals. And you know what team he beat on the way? They beat
OKC.
OKC.
OKC. And he did it
And
in
guess who was
dramatic
trying to
fashion.
play? And guess who was trying to play one-on-one basketball at times?
Westbrook.
He didn't learn from the season before.
Exactly.
Westbrook about to be what 32 years old, and he still.
He won 32. Yeah.
Now I must admit, this past couple of months when the season was going on,
Oh, you
Westbrook has
taking
been
my
the
point.
MVP.
You taking my
Oh,
point now.
okay.
No, but that's
But
true. I mean,
I'm trying to be unbiased at the same time.
right,
As I'm arguing for Dame, I'm still gonna be unbiased. I'm still
right.
gonna be unbiased.
And
But
yeah,
when it
no.
comes to Damian
Mhm.
Leonard versus Westbrook, it's like Damian, he got the best of him.
So in 5-on-5, you still take Dame.
Oh, 5-on-5 basketball. And that's how
Hey,
the NBA is played, 5-on-5.
right. So
I
you
hear
got.
people go ahead, I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was gonna say I just know Jerm Rich is smiling right now. Jerm Rich is smiling because you hyping up the Blazers right now. So he's Dame Dollar don't even be getting love. We always talk about Curry, and Westbrook, but we never Dame Dollar. So now it seems like he's starting to get the recognition. I mean, he came out with a little rap album. Now he's doing the NBA 2K cover. So definitely now he's starting to get the recognition that he probably has been deserving for about maybe 2-3 years. And he can drop 60 points any night. So I agree with you
Mhm.
that Dame is probably a faster learner than Westbrook. He learned from you want to mute that? I don't know if you want to mute it. But he learned from Drew Holiday. He learned from losing to Drew Holiday. Like you said, he adjusted. Westbrook didn't adjust. Westbrook got emotional. That's what Westbrook does. He gets emotional. So basically, he can learn the same lessons that Dame can learn. It's just going to be a year later. Dame's going to learn everything a year faster than what Westbrook learned it. So you're going to see the adjustments. I think that's what you were alluding to when you were espousing about Westbrook recently on the Rockets before the COVID hit. So before COVID hit, you would look at it and it seemed like okay, Westbrook was killing the game. He was killing the game, and this is with Capella. Then they moved Capella out. They've traded Capella. Now Capella's going to go join Trae Young with the Atlanta Hawks. As soon as Capella's out, all of a sudden you see Westbrook got the open lane. It's like his eyes is wide open. I mean, he's eating up the paint. He's hitting Harden with good passes, crisp passes. He looks like he's in a comfort zone. I know Braylon, shout out to Braylon Hurd. He's one guy that says Westbrook is he calls him West Brick. He says that this dude is a knucklehead. He doesn't know when to pass the ball. He doesn't know when to make the right basketball moves. Well, it seemed like during this last Houston run, that last Houston stretch, about 20 to 30 games, which is not a small sample size. It's a large sample size. With Capella and after Capella, we can call it AC. You know what I'm saying? Like how to be AD after Christ, do AC after Capella. After Capella, Westbrook looked amazing. He was eating up the paint. He was making all the right passes. Houston was winning games. Him and Harden had just beat the Clippers or somebody else. So they had a couple big signature wins, and they had a lot of momentum, and then we get hit with COVID. So right now, I think it's hard to judge, but I will say that from the aspect that no other NBA player is doing no 3 triple-double seasons. No other NBA player has probably the overall athleticism that Westbrook has. And on top of that, he did look like an MVP caliber player throughout this last stretch of the Rockets before COVID hit. What do you think? What do you say to that?
Um, I mean, like I said, he was looking like an MVP candidate the last 2 months of the NBA season. Like he was balling. Uh, there we go.
Absolutely.
There we go. Yeah, he was balling. Um, Unfortunately for Dame this year, Portland, they got hit with the injuries at the beginning of the season. They just was never able to recover. So
Mm-hmm.
Westbrook does look better this year,
The baby
but
looking cute.
but again,
Mm,
the head-to-head games this year.
that's
go
fair.
back
That's
and
fair.
go back and look. Like Dame,
No,
like
that's
he
fair.
just got the better of Westbrook, man. Like Westbrook, the type of player when he have a rivalry with somebody, it's
Mm,
just like it gets him out of his character.
exactly.
Like with Curry, with Dame, Ricky Rubio. Like if Westbrook would play Ricky Rubio right now with a focused mind frame and not a
He would
revenge
kill him.
mind frame, he'll
Oh
probably
my God.
drop 50 points,
Right.
15 assists, 10 rebounds.
He would look like what he's
But
been doing with the Rockets just recently.
exactly.
No, you're right. It's definitely he's almost like the opposite of Dennis Rodman. He's the opposite of Dennis Rodman and Draymond because these are two dudes that could cause little trouble and get in people's faces, and it's almost like they feed off it. If Dennis Rodman is getting a technical, he's probably gonna hold this. He's gonna hold the whoever's playing to way more missed shots than they normally had. You know what I'm saying? They usually are way out of the game. They getting technicals too. Rodman's like running up and down the side. It works for him. But Westbrook, he can't play that game of getting baited by his emotions because then it's a manipulation and he's out of his game. So I do agree with you on that. I guess we'll disagree to disagree, but sports debaters, y'all know that Westbrook is better. But no, I
Hey,
definitely
John
want to
Rich,
go
I know
to.
you got my I
Go
know you
ahead.
got my back, John Rich. I was just telling John Rich, I know you got my back, man.
Right, right. Well, I'm gonna shout out Braylon Hurd, the biggest Westbrook fan on earth. No, I'm playing.
Shout out to
But
Braylon Hurd, man.
But no, what I'll say is, last topic is a very deep topic because it's really a hard concept to grasp. But basically, people speculated did Westbrook, um, did Kyrie Irving actually really suggest that the black players should try to create a black league? Here's the reason why I want to say that he's actually correct. It's just the concept of it. I'm not saying that he has a plan. I'm not saying that it's already thought out, well put together. They've already conspired and made this happen. But the concept is correct. And the reason why is because um, it's very possible to do. So within about 3 or 4 years, if 70% of the black players, all the black players pool their money to actually create a league, they could create a league that's comparable to the league that we have. It takes two big words to be able to make it happen. The one word is loyalty. The other word is going to be sacrifice. That's what it's going to take because with loyalty, the players can't be going out and running out and telling every little thing that Kyrie says to the media. So if Kyrie comes up with a plan, and actually I think I was telling you this when we were speaking off the camera, but if Kyrie already had a whole plan and everything, they would have ran and sneak and told that stuff faster than what they told it even now. So it's a bad look because now Kyrie is risking his popularity, his name. They already did the flat earth thing. And one big reason or one big point that I think a lot of people are missing out on is that 100 players felt like how Kyrie felt, but nobody would speak up. So yes, it seems as if LeBron is the leader or the head piece of saying let's go back to play. Right? He's doing the social media videos. He's already working out. Him and AD are doing the whole thing. They making it look really like they want to play. Even seems like they almost a little salty at Avery Bradley for dropping out. Seems like they're a little salty. I'm not going to say they are, but it seems like they're a little salty having to pick up J.R. Smith. But Kyrie is the perfect person to go against LeBron. He's the perfect person. Not to say you're going against him, but all you're saying is this is a real concept that we need to consider. So black players initially, Kendrick Perkins, um, the actual analysts, Shannon Sharp, Stephen A., and all the people that went against Kyrie, they're having that initial reaction of Shannon Sharp was just basically spewing praises about the white owners, right? Making it almost seem as if he can't think about a black man running and owning all of this, that it needs to be, or maybe franchises, that it needs to be a white owner. It doesn't need to be. There's no reason why black players couldn't put their money together with the Ice Cube blueprint, like the big three Ice Cube blueprint. Everybody gets a percentage. Nobody even owns a team. But now we're a coalition. We're putting our money and are pulling our resources together and our likenesses. And our likenesses are much more marketable and recognizable than NFL players, much more marketable and recognizable than any other league, because they have the platform of the press conferences. So you're doing a press conference. You know, you have a Steph Curry, a LeBron James. These are names that are literally the media darling. These names have a lot of power, whatever they say on these press conferences. So I believe that Kyrie is actually correct, and that we are going to have a hard time trying to overcome our knee-jerk reaction to say, no, let's not do this. And the reason why is because of what I think is called classic conditioning. We're classically conditioned to want to have somebody else be the boss, somebody else from the outside be the authority, instead of us thinking we should own it. Oh, no, we should run this. We should get a bigger piece of the whole pie. We really should. And I think that Kyrie is actually going at least in the right direction. I don't think Kyrie's a leader, because we saw that on Boston. So he doesn't have to be the leader. He doesn't have to be the brains. He could just be the person to start it off, and then we get the other people who are more capable and more competent to do those things. But I do believe with loyalty, don't go out snitching and talking about all the plans. Conspire and do everything secret. And then sacrifice comes in because it's going to take at least 3 to 4 years of the actual league being operational. The league must be running and operational for 3 to 4 years. And then about that point, that's when I would presumably be able to expect that the players will actually start making around the same money that they make right now. Imagine that if we grow up in a world where we can let our sons and our daughters watch NBA games, but it's a black-owned league. Does that mean we're not going to let white players play? Absolutely not. We want white players to play. But just to know that we have that power structure, that we own it. I think that's a powerful thing. What do you think?
As far as the Kyrie Irving situation goes, I may admit that was at first I was being selfish. I just wanted to see basketball again. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna just go ahead and admit I was wrong about that. But as far as his plan, I think I don't think he the right person for it. Right. I'm actually go my favorite player because he actually is on the fence about it. I'm gonna go Carmelo Anthony should be doing what Kyrie Irving doing.
Wow. Okay.
Yes, because as we know, Carmelo Anthony, he do speak up on social justice issues. He's been known to speak up about that. I think he would be a better voice than Kyrie. And Carmelo Anthony is actually a good friend of LeBron, like outside the court. So
he's a banana boat buddy.
I think if he would actually speak up, I think it would be better. And I think this is something that could really be, taken seriously. If a person like Carmelo Anthony or Chris Paul caliber, but I really don't know what Chris Paul stand on all this, but I know that Carmelo Anthony is like on the fence.
Right. Yeah, and that's what I was trying to say is that I don't think it has to be right now, and I don't think they have to stop playing. I don't think so. What I think they should do is they should keep talking about it and conspire behind the scenes. So let's go ahead and play these games. Let's go ahead and do whatever we need to do for the next maybe 2 or 3 years. But we're having meetings. We're having dinners. We're having PowerPoints. We're getting everybody together. We're pooling our resources. We're using our contract negotiations. We're leveraging our contract negotiations. So we're thinking long term. I think if the players keep that in their mind, they're actually continue to play, continue to do everything that everybody wants them to do, but are planning this behind the scenes and keep having their meetings and keep planning all this and putting together an actual comprehensive plan of how can we launch a league within 2 to 3 years or maybe 3 to 4 years. I think they'll be successful because they would already have to be practicing the loyalty and sacrifice. The sacrifice is still going to all these meetings after playing games or finding places, neutral sites to meet because everybody's traveling, everybody's hitting planes and stuff during the season, so maybe off season. That's a sacrifice. You're taking away from your free time. But loyalty is going to
Yes.
come with no more Kendrick Perkins spilling the beans, no more Matt Barnes spilling the beans, no more Steven. Even though Steven Jackson has every right to feel traumatized and upset because of the George Floyd situation, at some point we're going to start have to put the actual opportunity into realization. The opportunity is what's going on right now. Every corporation is bending over backwards to virtue signal and to say, hey, we're down with the black cloud. We're blackety black as you could be. You know what I'm saying? But right now is an opportunity to take their time, take this platform to let them do symbolic things like put their names on their jerseys. They're going to paint a big black fist on the NBA in the bubble in Orlando Disney when they do the thing. They're going to do that. So they're doing all these things. NFL's doing the black anthem before the regular anthem. And then they're also considering putting social justice statements on their helmet as well. All of this is great, but all of that is what I call cosmetic. It's a symbolic gesture. What Kyrie is talking about is structural. We need structural change. We do not need to celebrate symbolic gestures. Because if somebody's dying and we have all of this trauma and this that big of a sacrifice, Kyrie is right. Maybe we need to actually see a paradigm shift and open up this new paradox of black ownership. And the first way that we can actually start programming ourselves, we can program ourselves as black people in the black community by saying, let me buy black. Let me look for a black business. Let me try to, okay, I love Chick-fil-A. Is there a black chicken spot that actually has a sandwich just as good as Chick-fil-A? Let me eat there. And the reason why I'm saying that is because that's what other cultures do. Other cultures do it and they have an economic footprint and they have wealth. The most ironic thing is the black dollar is the most powerful dollar in America. We spend the most, but we're the poorest because we don't own the businesses and the establishment. So I think protesting, all of this stuff is great. Protest all day. But let's also protest non-black business owners coming into black neighborhoods and setting up shop. I could not go into Chinatown or into an Asian neighborhood and set up a shop the same way and be as successful and get patronized the way an Asian man can come into the black neighborhood, set up shop, and we gonna buy everything up, and he's gonna ball off us, and he might even still talk trash to us while balling off us. You see what I'm saying? So now let's go ahead and make that paradigm shift by start thinking, let me buy black. All that's gonna do is set up that black NBA league to succeed, period, because we already know whose dollar is the strongest. That's black. So what do you think about all that?
I mean, I think you just hit everything you hit the nail on everything, bro. Like,
absolutely.
Like, I'm actually down for it. Like, my whole perspective of everything has changed. Like, I'm actually down with it. Like, get this process going. Like, at first,
it'll be hard.
Like about the HBC, about the kids not going to big colleges. You know what I'm saying? My perspective changed on that too. Like, man, just because it's just that I was educated about what's going on and what needs to go on by you and a few other people in the group. Shout out to Blake. Shout out to Blake Daughter, man.
Yeah,
good educator himself. But yeah, like my whole perspective is changing, and I'm ready to get this process started. But you got the people out there like as you said, Shannon Sharp,
right?
Kendrick Perkins. Like, I know they
Shannon Sharp. Let's talk about Shannon Sharp. Shannon Sharp went off, okay, on Undisputed. He went off on Kyrie. And, you know, that's kind of an animosity because it's almost his fanhood. We know this man is a Michael Jordan fan. He's real. He's a Michael Jordan fan. But his fanhood for LeBron on camera, he has to defend LeBron on camera all the time, right? So he's going off on Kyrie, and he's not thinking about the big picture. Okay, yes, you want LeBron to get a ring. everybody in the world knows Shannon Sharp wants LeBron to get another ring. He's gonna be talking about Coach James, still, he's gonna be doing that whole Uncle Shay act, right? But the truth is, what Shannon Sharp really should be worried about is, man, can Bronny grow up and actually play in a black league? Could Bronny's son grow up and play in a black league, in a black-owned league? So I think Shannon Sharp need to look for the whole bigger picture, and that's, don't worry about just Kyrie versus Bron right now, because it's bigger than Kyrie. Maybe Kyrie's not even the leader, honestly. Like how you said, Kyrie might not even be the leader. As long as he's a part of it, I'm good, because he has the right spirit, right? He has the concept down. But as far as Shannon Sharp, stop tripping on LeBron getting a ring right now. They're going to play. They're going to play, and they're going to try to get a ring. But the most important thing is what Kyrie was talking about, which is the big picture, the long run. Let's take advantage and maximize this opportunity, because there is a paradigm shift going on. And J. Cole's new song, he said, we ain't never seen this before. On the Snow in the Bluff song, he had a new Snow in the Bluff song where he responds back to this female activist who's extremely intelligent. Her name is No Name. He responded to her and said, hey, don't be holier than thou. I'm just a rapper and I'm not doing enough. Can you help me? Can you educate me? Kind of how what you just said, your perspective changed. So J. Cole on the Snow in the Bluff song says, can you help me? Can you educate me? Matter of fact, we ain't never seen this before. We ain't never seen COVID before, where entire globe gets shut down. And we ain't never seen this much awareness coming from white monoliths, white-owned big companies, white-owned corporations saying, you know what, y'all are right, Black lives do matter, right? So it's actually happening now. Why don't we actually capitalize, like Kyrie said, and find a way to make a realization or an actualization of this conceptualization? So with that being said, man, I hope it all works out. Do you have any final words for the sports debaters debate?
Nah, as far as that subject, no, I think you handled it good.
Okay.
As far as the next podcast episode, we trying to get to the was it Pop system or was it Tim Duncan system?
Mm-hmm.
What was Tim Duncan was the system. So I want to get into that. I want to get into Maya more, what she's been doing for the Black community.
Absolutely.
And a couple other topics. But yeah, that's all I got, man. You got anything else before we wrap it up?
Absolutely not, man. So shout out to all the admins. Shout out Dennis, Mike Jones. Mike Jones is really the brains of this entire operation. So shout out to Mike Jones. He's like the Dr.
Writer, producer, director.
Exactly. Editor. We might send him the video, have him edit all this, edit everything. But shout out to our moderators, Garrett, Chris, and Marissa. I want to shout out to all the admin, and I'm glad that this came together. So thank you, all sports debaters, anybody who's supporting what we're trying to do, because this is a baby. We ain't even got graphics and set yet. So y'all keep tuned, stay tuned. You never know what's coming next.
All right, for sure. Well, we out, man. Until next episode.
All right, man.